In this video, I'm going to talk about the two biggest challenges in poultry farming, and if you can overcome these two challenges, then you are on the pathway to success. The number one biggest challenge in poultry is disease outbreak. Poultry birds are easily affected by infections such as Newcastle disease, Gumboro, which is popularly called IBD, coccidiosis, and fowl cholera. And this disease can spread very fast, whether through air, through water, through feed, or their droppings. And they cause high death rates. They also cause slow growth and loss of money on treatment and poor performance. How do you control diseases? The number one way to control diseases is biosecurity. Biosecurity helps to keep disease out of your farm. And how do you do this? One, you should try as much as possible to restrict visitors or workers from moving between farms, and use food bath with disinfectant at the entrance. Also make sure to disinfect all your tools, drinkers, and feeders regularly, and wear separate clothes and boots inside when walking inside a poultry house. Also, rodents, wild birds, and pets should be kept far, because all these, they are also carriers of diseases. Let's talk about vaccination. You should make sure to follow a strict vaccination schedule for your birds according to their age. A lot of farmers will give just a single dose, and that's all. Each of these vaccines has a booster dose that is being administered, most especially Lasota and Gumboro vaccine. For instance, a day-old Marek vaccine is given against Marek disease. Then the 7-day Newcastle vaccine is given. Then the 14th day Gumboro is given. 21 days you have to repeat the Newcastle again. Then 5 to 6 weeks and above, you now give fowl pox, cholera, and this is mostly for layers or for breeders. Then we now go to the next step, which is hygiene and good management. Make sure to provide clean water and wash drinkers daily. Keep litter dry to prevent coccidiosis. You should avoid overcrowding because it causes stress and disease spread. And also isolate and treat sick birds as quickly as possible. Let me talk about nutrition and immune booster. When your birds eat well and you give them good feed that is rich in vitamin, they will grow well and meet optimum production. So make sure to give balanced feed and vitamins, especially during vaccination or stress. And another thing that you can do is that you can use herbal mixtures like garlic, ginger, neem, or bitter leaf juice to boost resistance naturally. So instead of using this organic for treatment, you can then use them for prevention. Then the second biggest challenge faced is how to control feed cost. Talking about feed cost, it takes about 70 to 80% of the total cost of production. So in order to control the feed cost, you can learn or get a nutritionist to help you mix your own feed using local ingredients such as maize, sorghum, PKC, fish meal, bone meal, and many others. Use feed formulation apps or calculators to balance nutrients correctly. But if you know you cannot do this, then stick to the commercial feed. You can also use local feed resources. For example, you can replace part of the expensive ingredients with cheap local alternatives. Like maize, for instance, now you can substitute maize with cassava peels, plantain peels, or yam peels, which are dried and grounded. Then when you talk about protein source, you can also in place of fish meal, you can use maggot, you can use termites, you can use moringa leaves or water leaf, because all these are protein sources. Then for minerals, you have the bone ash, you have the snail shells or the egg shells. Then try as much as possible to reduce feed wastage. Make sure to use proper feeders and don't overfill them, because this is another factor that poses as a huge challenge to farmers. Then feed birds according to age and avoid scattering feed on the floor. For instance, when your birds are at day old, they eat less, so you have to know the weight of your birds and feed them according to their weight, because the weight will determine the quantity of feed that they consume, whether broilers or layers. Then you should remove every leftover feed daily to prevent spoilage. One thing that most farmers do is that once they are feeding, they top the feed, the leftover, they add more feed to it. And these birds, they are very sensitive, such that when you feed them like that, by the time they are eating, they will pick the fresh one and leave the older feed there for you. So, and this will thereby will cause feed wastage. So make sure to remove the leftover feed daily to prevent spoilage. You have to improve feed conversion ratio. Make sure that you keep your birds healthy, because sick birds will waste feed. Then provide cool, clean clean water at all time. And another thing that you can do is to add natural growth promoters, which is garlic, ginger, pawpaw leaf extract, as I have mentioned earlier. Then you should maintain the correct brooding temperature and ventilation for better digestion. I believe you've gotten tangible information that will help, and if you can control these two factors in farming, then you are on the way to making huge profits. I believe you've gotten tangible information from this video. Please help me to grow my channel by clicking the subscribe button, turn on the bell icon, give this video a like, drop your questions in the comment section, and share for others to benefit. Thanks.